Your golden years are meant to be a time full of fun, freedom, relaxation, maybe some golf and pickleball, and potential regret. There's tons of studies that have been done on this topic, and for good reason. They'll ask people who have lived a solid life, had a good retirement, and just asked what their regrets were. I'm John Gragg, your certified financial planner with APSadvisor.com. In this video, we're going to talk about those regrets. A few are financial, others are going to be based on health and happiness. Number one on the list is not having retirement goals, and this one makes a lot of sense. I'm a big believer in goals, and just because you're not working anymore doesn't mean you shouldn't have any. So a lot of people call this a bucket list, but it shouldn't just be where you want to go travel. You probably should think about some other things that you want to accomplish in retirement. And that's going to bring us to number two, which is a lack of purpose. You need a good reason to get up in the morning. So maybe you want to help out, take care of the grandkids while your kids go to work. Maybe you want to start a second act. You want to work for a nonprofit, maybe start a little company, or maybe just start a second job that you really enjoy doing that's going to help with the cash flow. The third regret is not focusing on mental and physical health. I talk about this a lot, and that's because it's so important. If you're able to get up, get outside, exercise, get some endorphins flowing, it's going to make you happier, it's going to make you healthier, it's going to make your retirement years much better, more enjoyable, and just overall life is going to get better. So try to get out, join a club, maybe you start hiking, maybe you join a swim club. There's so many things you can do, especially with the internet these days. There's groups for everything. So if you haven't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button so you can be alerted for any new videos if you find this information helpful. The fourth regret is not spending enough time with your family. You hear this one all the time, and it makes a lot of sense. So maybe one thing that you can do is just start an annual family vacation. Really easy way to make sure that you're involved with your family, or take care of the grandkids, or just pick up the phone and call more often, right? There's so many forms of communication that we have at our fingertips today. So make sure you take advantage of them. There's really no excuse not to talk to your family more often, but I really like the annual family vacation if you can afford to do so. It's really a great way for everyone just to reconnect and refresh those relationships, and it's a really fun time. And this list wouldn't be complete without our fifth regret, which is not having a solid retirement plan. And this makes a lot of sense because if you run out of money when you're in your 80s, that's going to be really scary. There's not a lot you can do once you turn that age if you don't have enough income in order to pay for the life that you've been living your entire life throughout retirement. So make sure you have that solid retirement plan. Either do it yourself, or you can contact somebody like me by going to apsadvisor.com/getting started, and we can have that complimentary call and discuss starting that retirement planning process. The sixth regret is failing to embrace a slower pace. And although a lot of people think that this is going to be super easy, a lot of people do have difficulty with this, especially early on in retirement. You've worked really hard your entire life. I mean, you think about where you are at this point. You started young, you went to school, studied really hard, worked your whole career, and now all of a sudden you're supposed to just chill and relax. And that can be hard. So just embrace it, understand that this is a normal part of life, and just really enjoy it and know that it's okay that you feel anxious and it's just a normal part of it. Seventh regret is underestimating healthcare and long-term care costs. Long-term care is extremely expensive, and it's just going up. Right now, the inflation rate's about 5%, and it may even go higher when you think about it because there are so many boomers that are entering this phase of their life, and there's not enough people there to help them. So Econ 101, supply and demand, is going to say that those services are just going to keep going up. So make sure you don't underestimate those costs, because that really can blow up your plan at the very end of your life when you need it the most. Number 8 and 9 bring us back into the financial realm, and that first one is bad purchases. And this most likely is going to come from buying a boat or a nice car or going on a huge vacation. And in these situations, a lot of times you're not thinking through what that purchase entails, right? How is it going to affect you over the long term? And a boat, for instance, is probably the most normal one, and that's because they're so expensive. There's so much time that goes into them, and then you use them a couple times, and then really it just sits there. So make sure you do your due diligence, you think through these purchases, and you're not regretting them. Those can also come in the form of gifts to family members that maybe you should wait until the end of your life to do instead of early on in retirement. Number 9 is inflation. And as we've seen over the past couple years, it can really bite into your budget. So when you're doing your planning, make sure you factor in inflation and then try to stress test it. So maybe you increase inflation to be 3 or 4% over your retirement plan, and just make sure that you have enough money toward the end of your plan. If you're interested in working with us, go to apsadvisor.com/getting started to schedule a complimentary call to discuss your situation. I'm John Gragg, your certified financial planner, and I'll see you in the next video.